All right, so UFC 300 is just around the corner. Of course, top to bottom, a ridiculous night of fights with 3 title fights. And of course, one of those title fights is the BMF title. The baddest motherfucker, no man alive, is better than that man, whoever that's going to be. Right now, it's Justin Gaethje, but it could be Max Holloway. Now, I know Max Holloway is an incredible fighter, had an incredible run at 145 pounds. But he's doing something here with big balls, okay? Stepping up to 155, taking on Justin Gaethje, a fight that maybe some people doesn't really make sense on paper because Justin is so dominant at 155, just had that stunning knockout over Dustin Poirier. People thinking, Max Holloway, what you doing? Just sit on the sidelines and you'll get a title fight at 145 pounds. Well, this is why you've got to respect Max Holloway, okay? Because he's trying to do big things. And in his mind, he's got a very good opportunity of beating Justin Gaethje, and then he might just stay at 155 pounds and challenge Islam Makhachev.
I'm in a situation, I'm in a place where, first things first is Gaethje, but if I can, go out there, get my hand raised, like we plan on doing, there's a lot of fights that can be there for us, and one of them being the 55 champ, which I think would be a fun one. So
listen, right now, on merit, Justin Gaethje is the number 1 contender. But we see how these things happen. We've seen how they play out. Justin loses to Max. Does that make Max the number 1 contender? It just might do, right? And Islam Makhachev, I'm sure he would take that fight. Anyway, so let's talk about the fight in general. Justin Gaethje, of course, he's got the power advantage, right? He is the human highlight reel, and he's got a lot of knockouts on his record. And the last one over Dustin Poirier, that beautiful head kick, the way he's beaten down a lot of people, right? He's got the power advantage. But both men, they're about the same size, 5'11". Justin Gaethje's got a 70-inch reach. Holloway's got a 69.5-inch reach. So all those measurables, tail of the tape, is pretty much the same, okay? Physically, pretty much the same, okay? Maybe Justin's thicker, heavier, thicker bones, thicker tendons, maybe got a little bit more muscle on him. But if you speak to Max Holloway, he said, look, listen, I've had a long time to do this. Last time I came up to 155, which is 5 years to the date. Can you believe that? 5 years, April 13th, 2019, he fought Dustin Poirier. And he lost a decision. But it was a competitive fight, and Max certainly was not embarrassed in that fight. He said, in that one, I only had 6 weeks to prepare. That's not even a training camp. This time, he's had double.
Like I said, we had 6 weeks to get ready for that. That's barely a fight camp. That's not even a fight camp. It's kind of crazy. But, with this one, we doubled that. We had like 12 or 10 weeks, whatever it is.
He's had 12 weeks to prepare for Justin Gaethje. And of course, he's done the necessary things. He's put on a little bit of weight. He's packed on a little bit of muscle. And he's studied his opponent. And he's coming in with a tremendous game plan. And he's extremely confident coming into this one. When you look at Justin Gaethje's record, he's lost to Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier. Well, Max Holloway lost to Dustin Poirier. He's lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? And Gaethje has also lost to Charles Oliveira. Well, Max Holloway lost to those same people, apart from Khabib. He did step up on very short notice and was willing to fight Khabib. I mean, that just speaks volumes about the type of guy that Max Holloway is. But he has beaten Charles Oliveira, beat him in the first round. Granted, it was a weird stoppage. It was an esophagus injury, the throat. But still, he has a win over Oliveira when Gaethje didn't. So what I'm saying is the point that I'm making, and I'm not being disrespectful to Justin Gaethje at all, right? Justin Gaethje is a bad motherfucker. Belt or not. That's just plain and simple. The man is a phenomenal fighter, right? But what I'm saying is that when you look at this on paper and you break it down, there's definitely a path to victory for Max Holloway. Now, Justin Gaethje expects this to be a violent fight. He said, listen, I'm the baddest guy in the division. He said, no one steals the show quite like me. Carnage, chaos, probably some blood and adrenaline coursing through the veins. That's what you're going to get. My ability to create damage is second to none. He says, Max Holloway is a legend, okay? He ticks every single box of being a BMF, so I have a lot of respect for him. However, this is my job, and I'm going to go out there and try and him up. I will finish Max, but not in the traditional way. No, Max Holloway's never been knocked out. In his legendary career, he's only been finished one time. That was a submission, a triangle armbar against Dustin Poirier in his UFC debut. Back many, many years ago, 2012, I believe. But he's never been knocked out. We have seen Max Holloway in some tremendous fights, and his jaw has never wobbled once. Conor McGregor, let's remember, when he came to the UFC, was knocking everybody out at featherweight. People could not take those shots. Eddie Alvarez, when he took the lightweight championship. Jose Aldo, 13 seconds. Max Holloway took him to a decision and turned McGregor into a wrestler.
Oh, you're a wrestler now.
Granted, of course, McGregor tore a ligament in his knee and he was injured, so he took him down and held him down for a while.
Caught my leg in an awkward position. I'm bridge and rolled, and my whole just popped out.
He didn't get finished, and he took the best shots that McGregor had to give. Again, the point that I'm making is that this guy, Max Holloway, has never been knocked out. And can Justin Gaethje be the first one to do that? Well, not everybody that Justin Gaethje fights does he knock him out. And I think Justin knows that. That's why he's saying, if I win this, it's going to be a doctor stoppage. It's going to be a case of the referee seeing this and thinking, you know what? Max Holloway needs to be safe from himself, okay? Because no man alive should be taking this kind of punishment. Now, who do I think wins? I don't know, right? But here's the path to victory. For Justin Gaethje, he's just got to do his thing, right? Maybe he should wrestle, but he never wrestles. He uses that to stop takedowns, and that will come in handy if he does get to fight Islam. No, but he's just going to go out there, use the boxing, use the head kicks, just have a Justin Gaethje fight. For Max Holloway, though, he's going to be extremely strategic. If he goes out there and stands and goes toe-to-toe, which, of course, at some point he's going to have to do that because it is a fight. If he gets backed up against the fence and there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and the lateral movement, the side to side, isn't getting it done, then he's going to have to stand and trade, okay? The best form of defense is attack. But I think for Max Holloway, use that jab, use that speed. If there's one advantage that Max has, it is speed. They're both incredibly experienced. They're both high-level strikers. Justin Gaethje is still improving. Against Rafael Fiziev, he looked phenomenal. He looked even more improved. And then against Dustin Poirier, gets revenge via a stunning head kick knockout. So the man is still improving. But Max Holloway, remember, I'm the best boxer in the UFC, bro. When he fought Kelvin Kattar. And he is phenomenal, right? The combinations, the speed, the shot selection, and the amount of strikes that he lands. The man is such a high-volume striker. Now, if Max gets the job done, it's probably going to be via a decision. I can't see him taking out Justin Gaethje. I can't see Justin Gaethje knocking out Max Holloway, but I can see Justin Gaethje's prediction coming true.
I will finish Max. He might not go to sleep the traditional way, but I think I will inflict enough damage to where the doctors need to stop it.
I can see a referee stepping in, or Max Holloway maybe getting knocked down. In fact, it's worth mentioning, Max Holloway's never even been knocked down, right? In 12 years in the UFC, fighting at the highest level, fighting the type of people he has and the wars he's been in, he's never even been knocked down. But I can see Justin Gaethje potentially doing that and then following up and landing on him and teeing off on him and dishing out the kind of punishment where the referee says, that's it, no more. But I wouldn't be surprised if Max Holloway pulls it off, right? When you hear this talk that he's had 12 weeks to prepare, that he's been out for a while, it's been about 7-8 months, he's hungry. He hasn't been taking damage. He doesn't really spar in preparation for his fights. He says, listen, I know how to spar. I know how to fight. I've been doing this my whole life. I don't need to take damage in my training, right? I'm going to take damage in my fights, right? And he kind of does sometimes. No, he knows how to fight and he knows how to win. And he's got a smart head on his shoulders. And often, the better thinker will be the better fighter. And for Max Holloway, he has to outsmart Justin Gaethje. He's going to use all that space in the octagon. I don't think he needs to worry about takedowns. He's going to use a very, very jab-heavy approach. And the reality is, actually, I don't even know if the BMF title is going to be 3 rounds or 5 rounds. I think it should be 5 rounds. It is for a belt, okay? So more than likely, it is 5 rounds. So that gives Gaethje more of an opportunity to get that finish, right? But who do you think wins? Right, I've broken it down a little bit there. I do think Max Holloway is a live dog in this fight. I understand why everyone would think that Justin Gaethje is going to smoke him, going to knock him out, given the form that he's on, right? But you can't underestimate Maxie, baby. Oh, no. No. Do not do that. And I'm telling you, you wouldn't be a crazy bastard if you were to put some money on Max Holloway, okay? And what do we think about him saying that he would go and fight Islam Makhachev, okay? I think Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan would have something to say about that. I'm sure Dustin Poirier has already got something to say about that. And I'm sure that Justin Gaethje, even though he has tremendous respect for Max Holloway, like we all do, is kind of smirking and smiling at that. Anyway, that's the video. What do you think? Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, who wins? What do you think about him going on to fight Islam if he is the victor? And how does Max Holloway win? If he wins, I think it's via decision. I think he's got a good chance of doing that. Okay, but he's going to have to be on that bike. He's going to have to get some miles in. Max Holloway needs to get the steps in if he's going to get his victory. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe and ring the bell. See you soon.